Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has landed in Dhaka and was welcomed by Bangladesh's Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. From the airport, Prime Minister Modi went to the National Martyrs Memorial, where he participated in a wreath-laying ceremony and planted a sapling. Prime Minister Modi also signed the visitors' book at the National Martyrs Memorial in Dhaka and wrote that their valor will continue to inspire future generations to fight injustice and defend the cause of righteousness. Over the next 2 days in Prime Minister Modi's agenda, he will be holding talks with Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and President Abdul Hamid. He will also be participating in the Golden Jubilee celebrations of Bangladesh's independence and the birth centenary of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. This is Prime Minister Modi's first foreign visit since the pandemic began. The Prime Minister also said that he was looking forward to offering prayers at the Jashoreshwari Kali temple and interacting with the Mathua community. The Prime Minister said that he will commit India's abiding support to Bangladesh and express solidarity with Dhaka on the fight against the pandemic. Now, this is the Indian Prime Minister's first foreign visit since the pandemic broke out, and it carries special significance. Now, for more on the Indian Prime Minister's visit, our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibil, joins us live from Dhaka. Now, Siddhant, welcome to WION. During this visit, the Prime Minister will interact with diverse groups of Bangladesh's polity and society, of course. So, walk us through the significance of some of the places of visit on the Prime Minister's itinerary.
Well, a short while from now, the Indian Prime Minister arrived at the location where I am standing, at the hotel where I am standing, and he was welcomed by the Indian community members and the Bohra community, the Bangladeshi Bohra community. They in fact spoke to us a short while ago and talked about the enthusiasm with which they met the Indian Prime Minister and the keenness with which the Indian Prime Minister also met them. The Indian community members and the Bohra community members, the Bangladeshi Bohra community members, that is of course significant, and that shows the outreach by the Indian leadership to the diverse set of community members, which is expected to happen. So far we have seen what has happened in terms of he being welcomed by the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, then of course the visuals from the Martyrs Memorial, and later on it will be something that will be spectacular, something that will be mesmerizing, to use the word, because Bangladesh, we all know, is celebrating its 50th anniversary of independence, and of course the Indian Prime Minister is the chief guest here. So clearly whatever he is going to say here, that is something that will in a sense reverberate in the larger relationship between India and Bangladesh and the larger Indian subcontinent as well. But you spoke about the significance of his visits in terms of other locations as well. We know about his visits to Orakandi, his visits to Tangipura, his visits to the Shakti Pit. This is other than symbolism, it is also a fact of how the relationship has gone forward, how there is a celebration of this relationship in terms of both countries trying to make sure that things which were cultural heritage, historical heritage, should be brought to light at a time when both countries are marking the liberation war of Bangladesh, the 50th anniversary, and establishment of the diplomatic ties as well, the 50th anniversary. So a lot of anniversaries happening, and top it all with the comments which are expected to comment by the Indian Prime Minister later today in the evening when the celebrations start.
Right. Now, Siddhant, Bangladesh has always referred to India as a true friend, while India has described Bangladesh as a key pillar of India's neighbourhood-first policy, of course. So how will this partnership grow in the coming years, especially in a post-pandemic world?
Well, this partnership is based on a solid foundation of many things, including the fact that the Indian blood, the soldiers of the Indian blood, the blood of the Indian soldiers was in a sense key in terms of Bangladesh able to achieve its independence, become the modern state of Bangladesh. We know that this partnership, this alliance, is more than just a partnership or alliance. The fact that both sides refer to it as a Shonali Adhyay shows that they've chosen a language, a local language that bonds people on both sides of the border, whether it's Bangladesh or whether it's West Bengal, and of course Bangla language having a larger resonance in the world as well. To describe this partnership shows that how close the bond is. It is the bond of blood brothers, and that is how they like to see it. And the visit, of course, has started. It has been almost 3 or 4 hours, so we will expect more visuals coming soon.
Right. Siddhant, stay with us on this broadcast. We'll come back to you you for more inputs. For now, for more on the Indian Prime Minister's Bangladesh visit, I earlier spoke to G. Parthasarathi, the former High Commissioner and former Information Advisor at the Prime Minister's office. Listen in to his insights.
It really goes back to the liberation of Bangladesh from the Pakistani army. I'll be careful in saying it was the Pakistan army which was responsible for the conditions which created. It was created by the then army president Yahya Khan. The fact is, what has happened after the independence, there has been a period of military rule because of a coup. But what Sheikh Hasina has done is brought back the continuance of democracy, and a secular democracy at that. You would note from the Prime Minister's program, he is visiting Hindu temples, he is visiting every place which one would expect a Prime Minister of India to go to. And therefore, it is a country which is very, very different from Pakistan. And this is the real nub of the problem. You know, they have done much better than Pakistan economically. They were far behind Pakistan when Bangladesh was liberated. And today they are ahead in terms of per capita income, they equal us. In terms of economic growth rates, they exceeded us last year, and their GDP exceeded us last year. Of course, the pandemic did have an impact on that. But nevertheless, something very creditable. At a people's level, you will find a large number of them in Calcutta doing shopping. They come in large numbers. And most importantly, Indian assistance has gone largely towards infrastructure projects, which have done them very well. And there was one very serious problem, which was of the sharing of the Ganga river's waters, and that has been sorted out. It took us about 50 years to do it, but we did it. And therefore, it's a very friendly neighbor. Even cricket is fun. They almost have national celebrations when they beat us. So that's the fine part of it. But more importantly, Sheikh Hasina has played her cards carefully. She has maintained a cordial, correct relationship with China, with the West, and of course with India. And trade is booming. You know, they have one of the best textile industries and are one of the largest exporters of finished textile products in the world. So I think they're doing it. So it's a good neighbor to have.
Our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibil, is still with us on this broadcast from Dhaka. Siddhant, tell us a little bit about the preparations underway in Dhaka ahead of the events remaining in the day.
Well, the preparations are almost over. In fact, if you come to Dhaka, it is celebratory. It is something out of the world in the sense that the city is decked up, it is spruced, it's clean. In fact, there are a lot of posters of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, and there are a lot of banners saying "Long live India-Bangladesh friendship." So largely a celebration of this relationship. But for this, Bangladesh, the national capital, was preparing for a long time because not just the Indian Prime Minister who is present here for the celebrations. Earlier, there were other South Asian leaders who visited the country for the celebrations. The Maldivian president, the Sri Lankan Prime Minister, the Nepali President, and of course the Bhutanese Prime Minister, they also came. So the celebration started earlier this month on 7th of March, the famous speech that was given by Bangabandhu on that day, and since then it has continued. Security has been substantially increased. In fact, I'm standing right now in the media center. If I go out, it is really difficult because of the security personnel who are present guarding the place where I am standing. And of course, COVID is also a worry because it's traveling in the time of COVID is, of course, not feasible in terms of the testing and, of course, a lot of protocols that need to be followed. It is, of course, Indian Prime Minister's first visit abroad amidst the COVID pandemic. So the entire area is sanitized on a regular basis. So these kind of things have been put in place to make sure that COVID does not spread. And, of course, there is adequate security as well.
Right, Siddhant, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for all your inputs and thank you for joining us on this broadcast. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.